By the third week, there hasn't been any deaths from the creature yet. It was surprising, but no one had understood what happened. That was until March 15th, 2025. There were more sightings than people getting attacked or killed by this creature. So Tom Hat was getting extremely, and I quote, extremely worried. He almost passed out, but then he came back. We need to find this creature and put its end of its dangerous path, he said. So he called the United States to get their military, to get some soldiers to the island. They set up boot camps for people to sign up to. But then basically they had an idea. Why don't you become part of our country? Said the president. I think we'll be good, says the Tom Hat. But apparently they became part of the United States, regardless. But eventually they had no choice but to keep it that way. But eventually, as some time went by, nothing really happened. But the creature was getting angrier and hungrier for revenge. I was just an innocent lizard, he said. But thanks to that fat, he turned me into this monster, and I will get my revenge when I can. A few days later, Diesel 10 came out of the diesel works because he had to take an important job to do. He wasn't scared at all. He was very proud. So Diesel was talking more nonsense about this creature. Well, it's a good thing we put him in the back shed permanently, he said. That will make him no longer useful on the rails, he said. And then, as he said that, he heard the loud roar in the distance. Diesel was confused. That was probably just some type of siren, he thought. But then, something bumped him on the side. What was that? He spluttered. His lamps shined brightly. But then, he saw a huge creature looking back at him. It was staring right into his soul. So you're the one, Diesel 10 said. You're the creature that Diesel was telling us about. You're just two guys in a very splendid costume. But then the creature turned around with a dead body of a human being in its mouth. Diesel 10 was startled. How could a costume do? But then the creature crushed its jaw with a loud crunch. Fragments of its skull hit Diesel 10, and Diesel 10 was very disgusted and disturbed. Then the creature walked up to him. Do you really think I'm two dudes in a costume? Diesel 10 said, yes, in a very confused yet nervous voice. Then the creature took its claws and showed him right in front of his face. Do you think these are fake? Yes. But then the creature scratched him across the face with his claws. Diesel 10 saw his blood on the creature's claws. Diesel 10 had enough and tried to use his own claw to pick up the creature. Diesel 10 was able to get him by the neck, and then he started and tried to drag him down. Diesel 10 said with a laugh. Do you really think you could stop me? He said. But then the creature said, no, I know I can stop you. Then he pried open his claw with his two large arms. Then he got out. Then the creature, surprisingly with his strength, surprisingly picked up Diesel 10 right off the tracks and threw him 5,000 feet away, where Diesel 10 crashed into a farm. Eventually, by the morning, they were able to get Diesel 10 out and repaired, but due to the drama, he quickly stayed in the diesel works and never, ever moved again. From that incident, most of Farmer Cole's livestock was close to being gone, but then, by the nightfall, he quickly got out his flashlight and a shotgun. He went outside to check on his livestock, but then all of them were dead in a very violent, bloody bath. The creature was munching and munching, and then it found one of the sheep was trying to run away. It quickly got out his camera. It surprisingly had a flashlight, and he videotaped it. The video recording showed it chasing the sheep for 2 minutes straight before finally chasing it almost towards him, where he grabbed it by the hind leg and snapped its spine. Then it ripped its head off, and it was drinking the sheep's blood. After doing that, it ripped open the stomach, pulling out the not fully developed baby of a sheep. It ate it. Farmer Cole was so disgusted he couldn't keep watching, but he had to continue record for evidence. After it was done, it looked back at his dog. His dog tried to scare him off, but then the creature said, "Disgusting, pathetic defense weapon," and then took its long claws and slashed the dog so hard the dog flew another 26 feet away, completely in half. Then the farmer quickly pulled out his shotgun and started shooting. The creature roared in pain, but eventually it disappeared. With its side bleeding, he thought the creature was dead, so he shined his flashlight. But the creature wasn't dead. It was still alive, and it regenerated where he was shot. And then it looked back at Farmer Cole, and then he said, "What you least expect, you will be nothing." Then Farmer Cole quickly shot him again, and again, and again. Nothing stopped him. But then, suddenly he ran out of bullets, and he quickly went back to his house. As he got back to his house, he looked outside, and the creature was at his door front step, looking through the window, with his eyes glowing in the darkness. Then he saw something that shook him to the core. He recorded it. It was opening the door. He quickly locked it, but the creature wouldn't give up and start banging its head against the door. "Time to play hide and seek," the creature said in an evil, demonic voice. So Farmer Cole quickly hid upstairs and locked his door. And then he hid underneath his bed while the creature went upstairs looking for his scent. As he finally looked into his bedroom, he was sniffing him out. "Oh, where are you?" he said in a demonic voice. "I just want to see you. Nothing to be worried about," as his feet tapped and his two claws tapped the floor. That's what he heard, and that's what the farmer heard. And then the creature looked under the bed and saw him, with a deadly image of his eye looking right at him.